Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and I'm doing a live Facebook test as I did this. So if you were following me over on Facebook at Andy Signor, you would have seen this live to see if this works. And then I'm posting it to YouTube later. Eventually, I'm going to stream to both platforms. What a thought. But I wanted to do a quick review of Disney+. We finally had some time to go through it. A lot of reviews coming out. And the biggest news was that they actually had 10 million people using it already. Which is crazy to me, but apparently surpassed 10 million users in its first day, according to a lot of reports online. The app was downloaded 3.2 million times, and that's pretty big. In comparison, which makes it even more interesting, this was I ended up pulling up the wrong. There we go. Where's the? I thought I had the. I didn't. I grabbed the wrong. Here we go. This is CNET actually gave us comparisons. That's what. By comparison, so basically 10 million subscribers launched on Tuesday, but a comparison, HBO Now took 3 years to reach half that number. Hulu, which is now owned by Disney, has 28 million subscribers after its launch more than a decade ago. Netflix, obviously, which has the big market share there, is dominating with more than 150 million members globally, having been out for now a decade. So 10 million, that's a pretty good starting number for Disney. I mean, expected because people were excited for this, but for 10 million people to already tune in day one, smart move. But now what's interesting is this article even reminds us, this doesn't factor in all of the Verizon customers. And that is a smart, it's like when U2 released that CD. You guys remember when YouTube decided to release a CD and they put it automatically on everyone's phone, and therefore all of the the downloads of the album sales cannot counted because they did that. Let's not forget that the Verizon deal has millions of users. I mean, that could be 8 million users for all we know, and only 2 million have signed up to pay, and obviously free trials, etc. So obviously very early to tell, but coming out with a press release of 10 million is a smart move on Disney's part to attempt to really own the metrics of it's really killing it. It's doing well. There was a lot of outages, and I saw some people trying to be negative about it, but that's so expected with a service of this magnitude. And Mandalorian when I watched it early in my time zone, because I'm here on the East Coast, I had no trouble. But then as people woke up and were watching West Coast, it seemed like everybody was there to sort of combine and watch together, and that's when stuff started crashing. So that's not surprising to me at all. That there's going to be clear working kinks with a platform of this size. You don't really even get to figure out how to work such a platform until it's live and you have 10 million users all trying to access it. Obviously, it's hard to troubleshoot that, in the lab until the people are all there, and you got to say, all right, well, what holes are poking through? Let's cover them up. So that's expected. I don't think that was a negative wart on Disney. I expected some sort of launch, and the fact that it got so popular that they had to, the service shut down. If anything, that's like going to the club and you can't get in. You know what I mean? It just shows the demand was high, and so high that even Disney, who knows how to try and supply and demand, they weren't even prepared. So they got it back and working. It's now working, and as we now have, here it is, Disney Plus. What's really just interesting in my takeaway of this, my initial review is it's just for kids. Now, I know a lot of you were commenting on me well, duh, Andy. I'm not an idiot. I know it's for kids. But they had just bought the Fox library, and I was sort of expecting to see a few more Fox titles. So when you go here, Mandalorian is the big, and Mandalorian is the worthiest thing so far. It's really a good start, but it's one episode and it's 38 minutes. I really wish they would have had a few more episodes ready. One more drops tomorrow, Friday. So we'll see. I have yet to watch Lady and the Tramp. I'm going to watch that with my kids. But then it's just a lot of kid stuff. Avatar made it to the top, and then Simpsons is clearly I think a lot of people are going to start. People didn't realize you can get Simpsons through other apps. But having it sort of clear here, that's been a very popular watch for a lot of people to go revisit The Simpsons. But they did have a problem where they're releasing it in the widescreen format. And so a lot of jokes are being cut off due to the cropping of the Simpsons episode. So be warned, it's a fair complaint because early episodes were shot in 4:3 ratio, which is like this box you're looking at me right now, versus the widescreen box. And so therefore, jokes that had stuff on the top are now being squished down or cropped out entirely. That is something they need to fix to really make the Simpsons collection worth it. But obviously, aside from that, their trending choices are all just Disney movies. It's all Disney stuff. Avatar jumps in there. I'm so curious to see what people are actually watching. But High School Musical 2, Zootopia, Tangled, it's just Free Solo. There we go. That's an interesting one. And then we have here, Inspired by True Stories. Again, all Disney movies. Eight Below, Invincible, Miracle, all their sort of sports movies. Then we come down and Ultra. It's all Disney stuff. And this happened day one. So they don't have analytics yet to sort of know who's clicking on what, right? Instead, they're going off their gut of like, all right, well, these are the things that are going to be popular. And so as it progresses, I'm sure they're going to start seeing, all right, what's getting clicked, what's not getting clicked. But like here, this was the first one. Like, all right, cool. Muppet Movie, Tron, Parent Trap, Rocketeer. I wanted more stuff like this. There's too many repeats on the top of like, they showed Beauty and the Beast twice before we got to Rocketeer and some of the other epic more stuff, like Sandlot. That's a cool one. That's Fox now. That's in their library, and I would have thrown more in there, and I'm sure they will. But just my initial thing, like Turner and Hooch, whoa, that's on here. Roger Rabbit, yes, that's the kind of stuff I think that's going to start popping out that they need. Maybe they're saving that. But that was my initial critique of like, well, where's Home Alone? Because if you search, I'm pretty sure they own it now. Did you guys even know this? There it is. Home Alone. Maybe they're saving this for Christmas, but now you can watch all 3 Home Alones. And even just like films like National Treasure. But how do I look up movies by Fox? I can't. I just get Fox and the Hound. When I go and search, like where do how do I get like genres? It's just the navigation is pretty, but I want to search. So let's look up adventure. Okay, let's look up adventure movies. You can look up by genre. And now I'm getting Sharpay's. But there you go, Adventures in Babysitter. Now this is interesting because that one has an F word in it. I wonder, do they warn people of this one? Oh, coming soon. Oh my God. See, now that's lame. I didn't even notice that. So here we go. I want to watch this movie, Coming Soon, available on June 1st, 2021. That's more than a year away. That's insane. Why is it taking so long? So we click Home Alone. Oh, is that not even available? Okay, Home Alone is. But there you go. That was Adventures in Babysitting is sort of a mess up there. I didn't realize they were hiding movies and then putting them up top. That's disappointing. So if I look up Adventure, here we go. For those, that's a real sucks because that movie also has an F word in it. So I'm curious to see because that's a kid movie, not a kid movie stuck in here. But these are their adventure movies. I mean, I love the Adventures of Gummy Bears, don't get me wrong, but where's like National Treasure type of films, Even the Disney ones, I don't care. Like this isn't that's not good. It said I could search for genre, or genre, and they don't have that ready. Now, explore for genre, I guess here. They said I'm here, but again, there's no like action, there's no adventure. It's all Disney, Muppets. Here's the Cars. Disney, everything Disney, obviously, but it's Disney Plus. I know, but I don't know. I just wanted a more option to sort of see the Fox library because great, they got Avatar. I guess they're gonna. This could be a very smart play. Get everyone out with the nostalgia, which everyone's having. The initial review of this, and I've noticed, is a lot of people are just really excited because they get to have, oh, that thing I used to watch from Disney. It's now available. I'm going to go binge it and check it out. And I think that's clearly smart. Every person has their little, younger thing that they used to watch on Disney in some form or another, whether it was a Disney Channel show, whether it was a cartoon from way back. Everyone has those sort of Disney moments throughout they've been around so long that everyone has their Disney remembrance as a child. So now you can go back and watch DuckTales, Gargoyles, X-Men, the animated series. Like there's a lot of stuff in there that's getting people excited. You can also go back and watch High School Musical, the movies, because I know a lot of people growing up were like, oh man, I missed that. That was what I used to watch. Jonas, Hannah Montana. There's a lot of stuff that I think the nostalgia factor for Zoomers and Boomers both are being appealed to. So maybe they want to sort of use that right at the gate to realize, all right, well, we got a lot of stuff. Let's not overdo it because a month or two down the line, you're going to watch all the X-Men animated series and then you're going to be like, all right, I guess I'll watch Simpsons. And then you want some new cool stuff. So I think the drops of the Fox movies is probably going to be a smart move. And so Avatar was just clearly too big. That's a really big property to have sort of streaming rights to. Why not get it out there? So people, because they need the Avatar brand to be up there so they can put the spotlight this one like they're doing. But like right here, featured, there we go. All right. So finally, A drama, documentary, comedy, action, adventure. Let's look up the action adventure. Here are the movies in the action. Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's really. We got not a lot. Where's like Pirates? I would argue. Okay, good. It's starting to. All right, it just didn't load. Okay, there we go. Narnia, Davy Crockett. I'm trying to look for more of the deeper cuts. Remember Dinosaur? See, like now when they need more ability to go down and find some of those little deeper cuts. Even like DuckTales the movie, Eight Below, starring Paul Walker, the original Escape from Witch Mountain, the Flight of the Navigator, so that's my point is George of the Jungle. That's like a fun one to rewatch with kids. There's just, I want to start seeing some of those things that pop up. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that's been all over streaming before, but that is a really great film that they have. And even like the original Inspector Gadget remake they did, it would be fun. Into the Woods, I never actually watched that, but now that's interesting because it's here. Iron Will, wow, and John Carter, very underrated movie, guys. All right, so you got to go a little deeper, and then you can find Kazam. Now, is Kazam actually there? It is. Now we all can watch Kazam. So that's thank God, right? Lone Ranger, never watched that either. That's another one of those ones where I'm like, you know what? I'm curious. And then like Mars Needs Moms. I've heard that's like Disney's worst movie, but now, you know what? I might check that out to see if that really the worst movie ever. So once you get deep down here and you start looking, it gets more interesting. National Treasure is a fun one to rewatch if you have younger kids. It's sort of like Indiana Jones light. If your my kids couldn't get into Raiders, it was too much for them and slow. I know this generation, but this was one we had fun with. So it's not as good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying sometimes the kids don't like what you want them to like. You got to respect them. But that was actually a fun rewatch to go back to. Operation Dumbo Drop. I mean, yeah. So there you go. All right, Pete's Dragon, the remake. I actually really liked that. That was pretty cute. It's a tearjerker a bit, but all right. So then when you look, Prince of Persia. Remember Jake Gyllenhaal. So there we go. Now we're starting to see, and are all these available? No, coming soon, October 5th, 2020. So a lot of these still, due to existing agreements, this will be available later, but I haven't stumbled upon a lot of that stuff. So that's interesting. Now, Rocketeer, is that available? Yes. Now that is one. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, go watch Rocketeer. Fantastic movie. Love it. All right. So I'm seeing some comments. Some of you are watching out on Facebook. Thank you. I wonder how long the nostalgia will last, says Ethan Carr. In fact, let me bring this over. Can I get this in without revealing my whole Facebook? No. Sorry, I don't want to show all my other Facebook stuff here. So anyway, I'll have to figure out how to get this in later. I wonder how long the nostalgia lasts. Good question. From Ethan Carr. Lance Reader, Nick Cage is watchable. It's true. EJ Moreno, hey Jay. This is laid out oddly. I haven't seen it yet, but it's not as organized as expected. Agreed. When you really get in there, they're going to get better at it. But Netflix, I get frustrated with sort of Netflix's order, but they also do the smart thing of sometimes they'll change their thumbnails mid stream, and then you think it's a new movie, but it's not. They just change the face because they're doing their algorithm. The artificial intelligence is testing out 100 different versions and then seeing which one actually gets the most clicks, and then they know, okay, we lock in this thumbnail. All right, sorry. It says there's more comments, but they're not all appearing. Here we go. Jim Hogan, I was surprised they didn't have the Muppet Show. Yeah, that's interesting. What Muppets do they have? Let's look together. For those that haven't watched yet, we got Muppets Most Wanted, which I didn't actually ever watch. I watched the Muppets remake, and I've seen the originals. Muppet Treasure Island, I haven't seen it. The Muppets, we got the Muppets ABC show. That's available, which was like their weird office attempt to do. And then we got Muppet Babies, the remake. I would love the original Muppet Babies, but I don't see that on here. Sister Act, that's a fun one. The Country Bears, everybody. Remember this one? Before the original ride they made. And there's Dr. Dolittle. See, Fox. That's available. Another cute one. That's one I would... Brother Bear, actually, I did enjoy it. So, look, there's so much if you really go deeper down. But you also kind of have to put in some keywords to know what you're looking for. That's the biggest weird thing about this. Disney through the decades. Steamboat Willie. Now you're really going... I mean, to even know, all these old shorts and doing it by decade is kind of a smart move. Here, but we're gonna have to get used to this. But weird. And then there's 1990s as Prince and the Pauper and Home Alone. 2000s Little Mermaid 2. Weird choices, am I right? And then 2010 is Monsters University, and then a bunch of Cars shorts. It's just a weird. I think they've been so focused on the launch. Now they got to get into all right, well, how do we actually sustain the clicks? Because that's what this is going to be about. Is there enough that everyone knows and has been through the pain of what should we watch tonight? let's look through Netflix. And then you take 45 minutes before settling on something. So there's a lot of new stuff in here that I think will encourage people to go, oh, yeah, I want to watch that. But I think there's also a lot of sort of discovery that needs to happen to sort of get used to this. All right, any other comments before we... the other thing I wanted to call out was, and I wanted to show it to people, for people who didn't know. For example, if we go to Lady and the Tramp, the original, they're putting in these warnings, which is interesting. This program is presented in its as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. Now, if we play this, does it warn us again before we watch? But they're trying to not contains taboo depictions is what they're saying up there. But okay, there's not a full screen. There's no full screen, but they do sort of slyly put this in there because, and thank God for this, they're not editing their stuff. So some of the older cartoons, like We Are Siamese, which I don't know, that's not the worst of them. There's way worser things, but a lot of obviously characters are outdated back in the day that seemingly weren't racist at the time, but now we know better. I do like that they're just sort of doing this warning sign on some of these films instead of actually editing the films, which is, I think a lot of people were concerned Disney would do. So good on them for realizing we can't rewrite our history. We got to sort of show it that's how we know this happened. If we censor it, that's a bad thing. But they probably could do a better job sort of reminding people, I guess, up front. But there you go. So that's there too. Let's see. Any other further comments as we go through this? I see some of you. Thank you for watching here on Facebook Live. You can go follow me at Andy Signor. There's the link at Andy Signor. Pretty easy to find. All right, let's see. We have a couple more comments as we do this live. I'll eventually get this on both platforms, which will make it easier. Here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to... This Facebook layout is a little frustrating. Okay, it's not showing all comments. This is part of my... It was also partly a test. It has Muppet Movie and Muppet Caper, but doesn't have the third movie. Oh, really? It doesn't? I guess we didn't. That's one of those ones that's not available yet. MCU Expanding the Universe was a nice gem for the way ahead vis-a-vis the MCU. Yeah, it's a short little documentary they did. It's like 15 minutes, and it's just really the Comic-Con presentation. So I did watch it. It's, I can't even find it if I look MCU. Why not? Expanding. See, now here's a problem. Is it called Expanding MCU? There you go. Expanding the Universe, not MCU. It's a 12-minute documentary is light. It's just footage from their Comic-Con panel to sort of hype people into this thing. So, it was cool. A couple images, but you can just find them online. You don't need this for that. Paul, I'm happy with it, but could be so much better. Huge selection, but to me, still not enough. Mostly going to watch the shows I watched as a kid. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Paul. Thank you for that comment. I agree. It's just there's a nostalgia factor. For kids, it's great. But even the kids, eventually, they're not, I don't know. I don't think the kids are going to want to watch all the old cartoons. Certain kids will. Don't get me wrong. But it's, it's not going to be every kid. And so the nostalgia factor, when that wears off, will be very telling to see, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so for some reason, I'm trying to make sure I get my final comments here because, again, I'm testing this Facebook Live, so thank you for bearing with me. You are all watching. Great, cool. And then I can't see how to read comments. That's going to be something I have to learn how to do as we proceed to do this. But thank you for commenting, those who did. Okay, here we go. See all. There we go. And is it actually going to let me? No, it's not. Weird platform this Facebook is. All right, here we go. It says there are 16 comments, and it only shows me 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I know there were a couple other ones, and now they're gone. So I'll have to figure out why that's happening. A warning for Lady and Tramp is very 2019. Yes, thank you, Ethan Carr. I liked Imagineering. I think it's early, and they will add things. Yeah, no, agreed. So, sorry. So I'm watching sort of you testing my Facebook programs here. But there we go. That looks like this is working. And overall, Disney Plus is, I'd say, okay. I think definitely do the trial before you do it to make sure that you're happy with it. You can change your profiles, which is fun, and you can go up here and check originals, and you can check the stuff there's not a lot of originals, to be fair, yet because it's still pretty new. But these are the things that are like exclusively here on Disney Plus for now. But this is where the Marvel shows will come, and then series versus movies. Sort of you have those two choices. I don't love the layout for The Simpsons. The Simpsons has better layouts on was it Hulu or FX? The FX program was way better, but it's a little slow. But they're there. It just could be this part could be a little prettier. and you got to go a lot deeper. So, like, can you search for? Let's look up. Can I look up Lisa's wedding? Will that show up? Which I honestly think is one of the best episodes of The Simpsons. And no, see, you can't. So you can't find Lisa's wedding. So you got to go and know what season it's in. That's clearly not a good thing there. So then you got to figure out what season was Lisa's wedding. It was 8, was it right? Am I crazy? Anyway, you got to go look for it, and then you go there, find it, and was it 9? Season 8 or 9. It should have been the final episode of the whole thing of Simpsons. It's a really good final episode, seeing them in the future. And then they ended up doing it like 10 more times. It wasn't season 10. Did I miss it? Well, now I just look like a non-Simpsons fan, and I promise I am. No, it wouldn't have been 10. Was it? Was I wrong? Was it 6? Didn't I just do 6? Anyway, whatever. My point is, look how annoying this is to find the episode you want to find. It should be a little easier, and it's not. Oh wait, was it? Was I right the first time? Is it 7? No. I love Homerpalooza. I love Summer of 4'2". Lisa episodes. They're the best. Anyway, go watch Simpsons. I've been doing that already because I have YouTube TV and I can record them off FX, and it just keeps them all in my YouTube TV, which is fantastic actually instead of cable because you got unlimited DVR, etc. else. So I've already had Simpsons. Every episode just records because FX plays them all the time, and so because you have unlimited DVR, it just keeps them all and then it saves them per season. So nice that other people now have the access to them, but I've been watching Simpsons forever. Even some of the newer ones are sort of interesting to go back because people are harsh. But once my God, look, 30 seasons. There's a few in these new seasons that people sort of judge that are actually better than not. But look how slow. This used to be my internet, but a lot of images there, so not loading as fast as they should. But there you go. Overall, Disney Plus is out. It's $6.99. You can get a 1-week trial. You can get a discount if you buy it for a year. I wouldn't do that. I don't know, unless you really love this stuff. There's not as much as you think there is. There really isn't. I mean, granted, there is some fun stuff. Like, can I look up by Disney Afternoon? Because that's how I remember it as a kid. No, where's the Disney Afternoon tab? Like, come on. That's silly. Do they have Bonkers yet? See there? Oh, okay. They got Bonkers. Remember him? He was later in the run from 1993. Now we're going back to my childhood. And then do they have both DuckTales? They do, right? Yeah, good. We got classic and new, which honestly, the new is pretty damn good too. And you got both seasons, so that's a lot of fun. If you liked your old DuckTales, go watch it. And then we got like Tailspin, right? Everything, yeah, Tailspin. So it's all in there. Gargoyles. I don't know how to spell it. There it is. Yeah, so it's all there, all 3 seasons. So look, cool stuff, hands down. Where can you go wrong when you have this? I mean, come on, guys. Oh, I looked up. There it is. Let's end with the best theme song in the business, and just see how it works. Oh, because I already watched it once. But this is the most. Come on, who's gonna skip that? Don't skip that ever. Why would you skip that? Don't skip the opening. But X-Men animated series, so much fun stuff. So anyway, there is a lot to digest, but I don't know how long that'll last. And so good, they got these pre-rolls. And to give Disney one other props, because they wisely had so many people pre-book before they released the app. So you had to go on DisneyPlus.com to get it and sign up and get your year. Because every time you go onto an app and you download it and you do it through the iTunes store, Apple gets a cut. And so that's how Apple's making a lot of their money right now, because then when you buy Disney Plus through the Apple app, they are now, well, we're the store. You bought it through us. Give us a couple bucks. So that's interesting. So they smartly made it so like the app wasn't available, nothing there. Go buy it through .com, and they made a lot more money that way. So if any apps you do, you should always just go to the source and cut out the middleman. Because, I don't know, Apple, come on, that's just lame. But that works for all of it. I remember when we did Screen Junkies Plus, it was the same thing of like, how do we get them to go to the website instead of through the app? Because then we actually get our full amount per month. So when you do app development like that, it's something I think about. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I will be here live on Facebook. Again, you can follow me at Andy Signor if you like. That's the handle. Also Instagram. If you didn't watch Nerd Wars, go check it out. It was a lot of fun. It's going to be Thursday, but we're going to be back with I think a fun Star Wars topic. So lots more. Stay tuned. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more videos soon. Bye, everybody.